A little while ago, I saw some absolute disrespect to Zoey 101 on Twitter that I 100% disagreed with, or maybe 101% disagreed with. But anyways, Zoey 101 has personally always been one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows, and I honestly enjoyed it more than some other very popular shows from that time, but I'll leave that there for now. But this discourse on Zoey 101 got me thinking about some of my favorite episodes and moments from the show, and one of the first things I thought about was the episode Spring Breakup. The story behind this episode is that it was a special TV episode that was an hour long. The reason I even bring this episode up and talk about it on this channel is because this episode contains the cast of Zoey 101 competing on a brand new reality show, if the title of this video wasn't enough to tell that already. So recently, I felt like going down memory lane and rewatching this episode to see how the episode itself would hold up, but also to see what this reality show was and how it would have been. Now it's time to dive in and see what's up with Spring Breakup. And if you don't already know the characters of Zoey 101, you just forgot. I mean, there's Zoey, Quinn, Lola, Nicole, Chase, Logan, Michael, Dustin. And if you somehow also forgot or just don't know the main story of Zoey 101, Chase has been in love with Zoey since the first day that he ever met her, but he won't say anything to her about it. And that's pretty much all you need to know. That is also the main plot of this whole episode that intertwines with the rest of the stuff going on. So anyways, the whole friend group and Zoey's little brother Dustin are going to Logan's beach house or mansion or whatever it is for spring break. When they arrive, Logan's dad Malcolm, who is like super duper rich, by the way, tells everyone that they're going to be trialing his new reality show he's making before any official episodes are made. This new reality show is called Gender Defenders, which will see a battle of the sexes team format that is divided into mental, physical, and creative challenges. The tried and tested format of men versus women to see who is superior, of course. The winning team on this trial will be featured on the first actual episode of the show, which is a pretty cool deal for the winning team here. In addition to this announcement, everyone is given tech mates by Logan's dad because once again, he's hella rich and they'll be used by them during the competitions. They also just get to keep them in general, which is actually pretty important. I actually do really miss this age of supposed advanced technology in mid to late 2000s kid shows because of the nostalgia factor for these kinds of devices. Imagine pulling up to school with a tech mate and then getting to brag you are also on reality TV. I wish. So Chase and Zoey are made the team captains for the men and women because of course they are. And also as a side note, I should mention this even though it doesn't really matter much at all, but Quinn is also trying to make this natural energy drink that is just way too extreme. So Dustin drinks a whole bunch of it and it makes him way more hyper, and this eventually helps in the first challenge, but I mean yeah, that's really all that needs to be said about it. Anyways, Michael is still pushing for his friend Chase to tell Zoey how he feels about her, but he won't. But Chase does make the critical mistake of sending a text saying he loves Zoey to Zoey. Now the goal, at least for Chase, is no longer about winning this reality show trial, but to get Zoey's tech mate and delete the message from it. And now it's time for the beginning of the reality show. I love how Logan's dad for some reason just has this whole podium while his assistant has to stand to the side, and then they have just these 3 random judges for whatever reason off to the side as well. Really strong start here. So there's like a bunch of rules, but of course we can't hear any of them because Michael and Chase are instead planning out how to take Zoey's tech mate, delete the message, and then give it back to her without noticing. Obviously that plan completely fails because everyone just goes off running before Chase can even return it. Now back to the important thing here, the reality show obviously. The first challenge has everyone but the team captains do a scavenger hunt around the mansion, looking for 3 numbers to a combination log, and then the captain has to give the host whatever is inside. Dustin is super hyped up and the guys are athletic, so you know, they're running like crazy. And the girls realize that they can't outrun them, so they decide to use their tech mates to text Zoey the answer instead, which is actually pretty smart, except for the fact that Chase has it. So yeah, Chase gets the numbers, unlocks the safe, brings Logan's dad the iced tea, and for some reason, everyone is in like this anticipation if he actually likes the iced tea or not, like that's going to impact the result here. Guys win, girls lose, and they can't believe it. They call Zoey's tech mate to see where it is, and this is when Chase gives it back, but all the girls quickly accuse him of cheating. He didn't cheat, well, in a way he kinda did, but he can't say why he took her tech mate, so everyone is left thinking Chase is a dirty, cheating traitor. The best part of all of this though is that Logan's dad just doesn't care whatsoever about the cheating, whether it was purposeful or not, and says he can't disqualify the guys because his son is on his team. And Logan actually makes sure to say it's smart strategy instead of cheating, which, I mean, you could argue is fair. But yeah, Logan's dad already knowing how to work the nepo side of things in entertainment is smart and great for the reality TV business. I mean, if Gender Defenders was successful, we could be seeing Logan Reese as a contestant on Claim to Fame right now. But Zoey still cannot believe Chase would do this, but Chase still can't tell Zoey why he did it. So they leave on these really weird terms where Zoey isn't actually sure if they're even going to be friends after this. A reality show tearing apart a friendship just as it was intended to do. Logan's dad is a genius. Also, breaking up a whole friendship over cheating in a game is just crazy. I mean, we've all cheated in something, or at least have attempted to at some point. But anyways, reality TV is doing what it should in separating a great relationship. The second challenge is a nerd makeover, which is pretty self-explanatory. They must have had some sort of nerd casting call, or they just hired whoever couldn't make it on the Beauty and the Geek. Logan's dad even blatantly calls them losers, which is hilarious, but the point of the challenge is to make these nerds look cool. This is also so not important at all, but there's a point here where Michael tries asking a question and Logan's dad just starts the challenge. Doesn't even answer it, just like a real reality TV host. Anyways, the nerds are now unnerded and look cool, and after some extremely tough deliberation between the host, assistant, and random 3 judges, the girls win this. And I'm sorry, but this is BS. The guy's nerd clearly looks cooler and is wearing way better clothes, and he can actually pull it off. The girl's nerd still looks awkward as hell, but you know that after there wasn't a disqualification on the first game that they had to tie things up. So right off the bat in this trial of the show, there's already 2 tainted results. Great start. Now there has to be a tiebreaker, which is kind of funny to me because Logan's dad first explained that they would all be tested on 3 levels no matter what, but there's also the chance that a team could just go up 2-0, so would that mean they're gonna rig anytime they fear that might happen? But yeah, the third and final game is going to be a physical challenge, and it's going to be between the team captains Zoey and Chase. Oh yeah, break out that friendship even more, let's go. And this is called Aqua Battle, which is quite the descriptive title. They're each on pedestals with jousts and they're over water while their teammates have soakers to spray the other team's captain. First person to fall into the water twice loses and the other person wins for their team. Long story short, it's tied and it's all down to the final round to determine which team is better. Chase feels bad about what's happened between him and Zoey, so he throws the game and lets Zoey and the girls win. Chase is like, oh, I slipped, even though he clearly just fell backwards on his own, but people like Logan and Dustin are dumb enough to believe that. After all this is over, Logan's dad has one final announcement to make. Not only do the girls get to be on the first episode of the real show, but the guys also. Yep, this entire trial was actually just the real first episode, as there were hidden cameras everywhere catching it all. First of all, Logan's dad definitely did this just in case his son lost, and I feel there's no way he wasn't gonna let his son be on his new hit show. Second of all, everyone should be worried. Logan's dad should be worried that him just not caring to disqualify the guys for cheating was caught on camera, and that Chase and Zoey's whole love story breaking apart wasn't also caught on camera. Now granted, he could probably just have those things cut from the final release, but you can't ever trust reality TV producers on that kind of stuff. Also, this would have been a terrible pilot, as every single event had a tainted result of some kind. There was the cheating in the first event, more blatant rigging to level things in the second event, and then someone threw the whole game in the last event. That's something you'd air as like the 4th or 5th episode, but a new show needs a strong start, and anybody seeing a reality show that had tainted results on every single game is going to be wondering how this is even airing in the first place. And after spring break, everyone's back on campus and ready to watch the first episode of Gender Defenders. Well damn, that was a quick turnaround from filming to releasing on TV. We only see a tiny bit of the final product because most of this time is spent on Zoey and Chase getting over things, and Chase deciding that now is finally the time to tell Zoey how he really feels. So despite not wanting Zoey to find this out through text, he decides to just text her anyways, but Zoey forgot her tech mate at the water fountain. And for some reason the tech mate is the same weight as a feather, so some wind or extraterrestrial force knocks it into the water fountain, and still, Zoey has no idea how Chase feels. But back to Gender Defenders real quick. The episode starts with an introduction of all the contestants, but right after this it just jumps right into the action of the first event. No actual introduction, no rules, no format or anything. Just the names of who's competing and straight into it. I hate to say it, but if this was a real reality show, this would have flopped so badly. I mean, never mind all of the tainted results, but no introducing anything at all and just going off the wall like that? Now Logan's dad does have some good qualities to be a sleazy reality TV host or producer, but Gender Defenders I don't think would have done that well. That's just what I feel. But despite all that, I still really enjoyed going back and watching all this. It obviously goes without saying that a lot of stuff from Nick is kind of hard to watch nowadays, and a lot just doesn't age well. And I do believe that wholeheartedly, but sometimes it feels nice going back to what I enjoyed in my childhood and taking a small walk down nostalgia lane. I'd still be really cautious with stuff like this though. But yeah, all in all, that was a solid TV special, but more importantly, that was a pretty cool concept putting a reality competition show inside of a kids or teen sitcom. Obviously, I don't think Gender Defenders would have really gone anywhere, but as someone with a deep love for reality TV, it's cool that there's these kinds of concepts and takes on reality TV out there. Let me know down below what you think of Zoey 101, Spring Breakup, Gender Defenders, and everything else in between. Also, let me know what else you'd like to see me talk about on this channel. Like the video, subscribe for more videos, and yeah, thank you for watching.